Lecture number 23 includes joint variation, solution of sums related to joint variation. First we will discuss what is joint variation, then we will use the concept of joint variation in order to solve the sums related to it. Now first we will discuss what is joint variation. A combination of direct and inverse variation of one or more than one variables form joint variation. Joint variation is actually the combination of direct and inverse variation, and for this we must keep in our mind that one term or one variable should be common in both the variations which will be given to us. So mathematically, if a variable y varies directly as x and varies inversely as z, then here y is that particular common variable which is in variation to both the variables x and z. So firstly we write that y is in direct variation to x, so mathematically it will be written as y is directly proportional to x, and then y is inversely proportional to z. By combining 1 and 2 we just get y is proportional to x by z. By removing the sign of proportionality we just get sign of equality and a constant k, where k is constant of variation. So this is the way how we combine the two or more variations on the basis of the common variables to form joint variation. Now we will do exercise 3.4. If question number 1 is if s varies directly as u square and inversely as v, and s is equal to 7 when u is equal to 3 and v is equal to 2, we will have to find the value of s when u is equal to 6 and v is equal to 10. Keep this thing in your mind that whenever we will be given the values of all the quantities involving in the variation, then we will have to find out the constant of variation by using these values. So first we will write s is directly proportional to u square, and then s is inversely proportional to v. Combining the both we just get s is directly proportional to u square by v. By removing the sign of proportionality we just get sign of equality and a constant k. First we will have to find out the value of k, and for this we will use these given values of s, u and v. So we will be having 7 is equal to k into 3 square by 2, which will give us 7 is equal to 9 by 2k. Finding the value of k we just get 2 by 9 to be multiplied on both sides, and we will be having k is equal to 14 by 9. Now we need to find s for the different values of u and v, but once we find out the value of k, that is constant of variation, since it is a constant, its value will remain as it is, and we will just use it to find out the other parts of the sums. Here s is equal to 14 by 9 into 6 square by 10. Here 14 by 9 is the value of k, where 6 is the value of u and v is the value of and 10 is the value of v. And we will be having s is equal to 14 by 9 multiplied by 36 by 10, and we get s is equal to 28 by 5. Question number 3 is if y varies directly as x cube and inversely as z square and t. Now keep this thing in your mind that here y is in direct variation to x cube, but it is in inverse variation to both z square and t simultaneously, and y is equal to 16 when x is equal to 4 and z is equal to 2 and t is equal to 3. We will have to find the value of y when x is equal to 2 and z is equal to 3 and t is equal to 4. Here, since we have been given the value of y as 16, x as 4, z as 2 and t is equal to 3, so the values of all the quantities involving in the given relation is given to us. So we will use these values to find out the value of constant of variation. First we write the relation in mathematical form as y is in direct variation to x cube, but it is in inverse variation to both z square and t. By combining 1 and 2, we just get y is directly proportional to x cube by z square t. By removing the sign of proportionality, we just get sign of equality and a constant k. We will put the value of y, x, z and t which are given to us to find out the value of k. So we will be having k is equal to 16 multiplied 12 by 64 and k is equal to 3. So it is a constant of variation. We will just use its value to find out y when x is equal to 2, z is equal to 3 and t is equal to 4. For this, putting x is equal to 2, z is equal to 3, t is equal to 4 and k is equal to 3 in equation number 3, we just get y is equal to 3 into 2 cube by 3 square into 4, which will give us y is equal to 2 by 3. So the value of y here is 2 by 3. Exercise number 3.7 is similar to what we have done in exercise number 3.2 and that of 3.5. So after doing exercise number 3.5, I am doing exercise number 3.7. So question number 1 is the surface area A of a cube varies directly as the square of the length L of an H, and A is equal to 27 square units where L is equal to 3 units. Find number 1 A, that is area, when length is given to be 4 units, and number 2 length when area is given to be 12 square units. The solution is, given that A is in direct variation to L square, so A is equal to KL square. Putting A is equal to 27 where L is equal to 3, we just get K is equal to 3. Now we have to find out A when L is equal to 4. So putting L is equal to 4 and K is equal to 3 in equation number 3, we just get A is equal to 3 into 4 square. So A is equal to 48. Part 2 is we have to find L when A is equal to 12 square units. So putting A is equal to 12 square units and K is equal to 3 in equation number 2, we just get 12 is equal to 3 L square, which will give us L square is equal to 4. Since we are going to find out the value of L and not of L square, so we will have to take square root on both sides. By taking square root on both sides, we just get L is equal to 2. Since length can never be the negative, so after taking the square root, we are not going to write plus minus with the resultant term. So L is equal to 2 units. Question number 4 is the intensity I of light from a given source varies inversely as the square of the distance d from it. If the intensity is 20 candle power at a distance of 12 feet from the source, find the intensity at a point at 8 feet from the source. So given that I is in inverse variation to d square, by removing the sign of proportionality, we introduce the sign of equality and a constant k. Firstly, we are going to find out the value of k by putting the value of I as 20 and d as 12. So we get k is equal to 2880. Now we have to find I intensity when distance is 8. So putting d is equal to 8 and k is equal to 2880 in equation number 1, we just get I is equal to 2880 into 1 by 8 square, which is equal to 64. So I is equal to 45. So the value of intensity of light when d is equal to 8 is 45. Question number 9, that is the last question of today's lecture, is the kinetic energy of a body varies jointly as the mass m of the body and the square of the velocity v. If the kinetic energy is 4320 feet per lb, when the mass is 45 lb and velocity is 24 feet per second, determine the kinetic energy of a 3000 lb automobile traveling 44 feet per second. So given that kinetic energy is directly proportional to mv square, which results in ke is equal to kmv square. Putting the value of m and v and kinetic energy, we just get k is equal to 1 by 6. Now we have to find kinetic energy when mass is given to be 3000 lb and velocity is 44 feet per second. Putting k is equal to 1 by 6, that is the constant of variation. Mass is given to be 3000 and v is 44 feet per second. So we get kinetic energy is equal to 968,000. So it is the required kinetic energy.